I was about to say, hey, what's up? But now, Sean, you are already in the stream like immediately. That's super great. How are you? How was the cruise? Please tell everybody. And by everybody, I mean exactly the one person watching, which is essentially myself and you. But nonetheless, I'm glad you're back, man. Looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be good to see you. But right now, for everybody else, usually every week on Saturdays, I go ahead and do a pickups video where I basically, lay out all the games that I picked up for the week. This week I did not get to do it on Saturday because it's been a little bit chaotic this week and actually through a good chunk of the weekend. So really what I'm going to do now is a quick pickup stream. I'm probably going to hang out for about an hour or so, and then I'm going to go see Infinity War for the 4th time. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and do the stuff that I picked up locally. I did decide to stop by VGMX, and that was after work on Friday when I was on the way home, and I did find some pretty cool stuff there, so I'll go ahead and showcase some of those right now. I did not, and it's one of those things, like I've been trying to find a copy of this game for quite a while, and for whatever reason, I just kept not getting around to it or not finding it. Or I would find it would be like the greatest hits version, which isn't the one I wanted. I wanted the black label. But I did finally get a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So I was pretty pleased to actually pick that up. And the disc is in really, really good shape and was complete. Obviously, I had the manual and everything, so I'm pretty excited to have it finally in my collection because it's been too long, and I'm a huge fan of Castlevania. So in the same vein, actually, while I was also there, I also found a copy that's in okay shape of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I can always swap it with a different case, though. Kawhi, what's up? How are you? Oak, how went the power washing? We were just talking through text. So Castlevania Lords of Shadow, it's weird because I did like the Castlevania on PlayStation 2, whose name I can't remember right now. But Lords of Shadow was one that I had always wanted to play and never really gotten around to it. And I think this is on the Xbox backward compatibility list, unless I'm mistaken. So it would be nice to be able to just pop it in the Xbox One if that is the case. Sean says, ooh, return it. That's not the special edition. I mean, they didn't have the special edition, but that was only like, I think after my discount and everything, it was like $5 for Lords of Shadow. So, now, as I understand, a lot of people were not as fond of the follow-up sequel, but I don't know, I haven't played it. And speaking of games where I probably should have returned it, as I understand it, this is one of the worst games ever made, but it was in like great shape, and I thought it would be a fun video to either live stream or just check out myself. And because I'm super on an Avengers kick lately, I'm going to see it for the 4th time here in a little bit. I picked up the Incredible Hulk, the Pantheon Saga for PlayStation 1, which, as I understand it, is absolutely horrible, which is weird because there are some Eidos games that I liked early on, and I don't think this is going to be one of them, but I just couldn't help myself. It was in such good shape, and I like having superhero games in my collection. So for like $3, I figured I'd give it a shot, and it's just about perfect. So heading off to bed, I'll watch the rest later. Bye. Hi. Yes, have a good night, Kawhi. Thanks for swinging by. Oaksy says, how's it going? It's going pretty well, man. I mean, again, it's sort of a hectic and chaotic week and weekend, hence the delay on the pickup stream. But by and large, not terrible, right? Woke up, breathe. I'm going to go see Infinity War for a 4th time. And, I'm on call for the day job, so hopefully that doesn't get in the way of watching it, but we'll see. The next thing I picked up from there was actually... Oh, sorry, I heard something rattling around here. I thought the disc was loose, but I am still trying to get the rest of the God of War. So I did pick up God of War Ascension, and that was only like $5. So I figured that was not a terrible price for this. I think places I'd seen it before normally it goes closer to like 10, 12, 15 maybe. But, this is a God of War that I never played. I played the ones on PSP. I played the original, a little bit of 2, but not a lot. And since I'm, now slowly working my way through God of War, the most recent release, I really wanted to sort of have, the entirety of them in my collection and everything. So it was good to have Ascension. And finally, it's weird. I've been sort of going a little bit PSP Go crazy lately because I picked one up and it's a really, really great system, mainly because you can just, hack it so easily and have a huge library of games with you on the go. And I started playing Prinny Can I Really Be the Hero, which I was like, this is really quite fun. And it's a very, very challenging platformer. But then I was curious more about the characters, and apparently it's from Disgaea. And I'd always ignored the Disgaea series because I knew it was, sort of tactical based, where you sort of like move into different spaces before you schedule your attacks. But I never really given it a fair shake either. So I decided to basically play a little bit of Afternoon of Darkness to see how it was. And I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So I went ahead and ordered it for the actual proper physical release because, again, even though I know you can load up the PSP fairly easily with ROMs, if I do that, I like to have the physical copy of whatever game that I'm actually playing. So Oak says, man, I need a vacation. That's super cool. Hope you had a fun time. Oh, for Sean? Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was going to get to see you yesterday, Sean, at that work cookout thing, but it did not happen. So I hope you were well rested, sir, and I hope you're ready for the week at work. So yeah, Disgaea, Afternoon of Darkness. And that's the thing, like one of the things I noticed playing Prinny was that just like the humor was really, really great in it. And I was actually had a really good time sort of playing through that platformer here and there on my lunch break. So I figured I would go ahead and give it a shot. And so far I've actually really enjoyed it. So we just got Ghost of Sparta recently, last vid, I think. Oh, right on, man. Yeah, I still need to catch up on your stuff, man. I'm way behind on just about everyone's stuff, except I did make a concerted effort to catch up on that Game Collector the other day because I had not watched his stuff in a minute. So I actually, probably watched, I think, 2 or 3 of his videos back to back. I think one where he had some more stuff that he got from Rocker Gaming because he got basically some controllers from him. And Rocker Gaming actually has a cool video out right now as well, and that is basically the jewel and badge replacement thing that he, that you can do on the top of the GameCube. And he just does some pretty cool stuff there. I think it looks really nice. Let me go ahead and move on with these though, because I did get a couple packages in. One from Limited Run Games, one from eBay, which is another, I believe it's a PSP. It feels like a PSP game, but I'm going to open up the Limited Run Games and kind of see if there's any extra goodies in there. Because the first one I did for home, it only had what was it? I thought it only had the game in it, but it actually had, like one of the cards in it as well, which I completely missed. So now I need to sort of look for that whenever I open these things. So this is from Limited Run, and I believe it is, yes, Kira Blaster. So this was one that basically I sort of took a shot on because, I was sort of familiar with some previous work from this developer, and now, the name eludes me because I'm on camera, and, now I'm forgetting everything. NES Addict, what's up, man? How goes it, Jay? So Kira Blaster was just a game that, from what I'd seen, looked like a lot of fun. So I went ahead and grabbed that for the PS4. And I think they might have had it for the Vita too, I'm not sure. But then it did come with a card, which I think is also Kira Blaster, but you guys can kind of see that there if it's not too bright and reflective. And then obviously another one of those like limited run tickets, which if you save these things up, you have to physically mail them in, and then you can get goodies like I think you can get like stickers and stuff like that. But then also, I believe if you get enough of them, and Muzz has like 160 of them or something stupid. That dude buys limited run games like crazy. But I think once you get like maybe 40 or 50 of them or something, you can actually get a free game. But I can't remember. Just stopping by to see what NES stuff you got. Hey, Oak City. I don't think this time I really have any NES stuff. What I do have, I do have some Nintendo stuff, but it's not for the NES, sadly. So maybe less, to your interests. But one of the things I did grab from GameStop, just because I found it there and it was in really good shape, was Kirby's Dream Collection, the special edition. And it came with a soundtrack. And that's sort of going to be a theme here for these next few things that I show, is I actually picked up like 3 different games this week that had the soundtrack included. So Kirby's Dream Collection was like it was $31.99 if you were like the pro member or whatever, they call the thing where you pay like $10-15 a year and you get extra discounts. So, it did come with the CD soundtrack and the collectible book. And if it wasn't complete, I probably wouldn't have gone for it. But the fact that it was, and the box is in mostly good shape. But after I saw that video from Muzz over on L1 Games about how he can basically use that t-shirt press to flatten out boxes that are a little bit creased, I'm going to see if I can get him to do that for me when I swing by the shop. But, yeah, it did come with, I don't know why the instruction booklet's not in the case, but it did come with the 20th anniversary celebration book, which I think sort of just gives you a breakdown of, some of the different titles in the Kirby lineage, I guess. So, yeah, I was pretty happy to have it. And the soundtrack, I wish that whenever they did soundtracks, they would just come with a separate, jewel case sort of soundtrack so I could keep them all lined up very easily. But it's just one of those things where it's just like an extra tray insert that comes with like the soundtrack. Sean says, one of the only games I still have. Oh, right on. Yeah, it is pretty cool, Jay. I was pretty happy to find this. It was just one of those things like I don't normally seek out the Wii section because I don't currently have a Wii that I can play. But at the same time, I know there are games that are in that, sort of in that library that were, either a lot of fun or just very, very cool in their own merit. Next up, I think I have one more, maybe 2 more things that I got from eBay. And I'm honestly not sure which one it is. Oh, right. So I did order Marvel Ultimate Alliance. As I understand it, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for the PSP was abysmal and not very good. But I really dug like X-Men Legends 2, and I liked Ultimate Alliance when I first played it, I believe, on the 360. And then I liked the the sequel on 360 as well. But I don't think I ever played 2 for the PSP. But because I'm gonna go see Infinity War again, I thought it would be fun to sort of dive into that a little bit. But yeah, I mean it's complete. And then, I do kind of like the artwork on the inside of this PSP case. And honestly, I just really like the PSP physical media because it always feels like very weighty and it feels like you're really getting something for your money with the PSP library. So, Ultimate Alliance, not super expensive or anything like that, but it was one that I was happy to have. And then go ahead and go through. I think I've got one more thing here from eBay. Roaming Dan, what's up, dude? Thanks for swinging by. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I saw the picture of this on eBay, and I got it for something like $6. It was not very expensive. But God of War Chains of Olympus, which I always had. At one point, I had, like, the God of War. I think it was the Chains of Olympus Special Edition PSP, which was the red one. But, I traded in, got rid of it, which I hadn't. But, the other thing, too, is a lot of the times, like, whenever you see, I think it's Chains of Olympus and also Ghosts of Sparta floating around, they're, like, in those cardboard cases that people sell on eBay. So the fact that this one was complete and it wasn't greatest hits or anything like that was actually pretty great. So, this must be a little bit closer to reacquiring the entirety of the God of War collection, which I'm pretty happy to have. But, yeah, I mean, it was complete and everything. And for, like, $5-6, I figure that was not a bad price for it. And then this was a game that I would have gotten for the Vita, except that, let's see, there's a misprint on the Vita box, and I almost bought it, basically having not seen any of the gameplay footage at all, simply because it said that it came with the soundtrack and a behind the scenes documentary, but that was a misprint on the Vita case, and apparently the developer actually apologized for it because they were like, yeah, that one doesn't come with that stuff, but the PlayStation 4 version does. So, and that was Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition, which I think is, I don't know if it's a fairly recent release, but I feel like I started seeing it like at GameStop in the new release section for some reason, but I feel like it's been out for a while, or maybe I just missed it, or I'm confused, but I would have gotten it for the Vita because I'm pretty sure I already have this on the Vita for free, but it was one of those things where it came with PlayStation Plus, and I never actually got around to installing it and trying it out. But after looking at some of the reviews and looking at some gameplay footage, it looked like a ton of fun, combining elements of like a shmup, and then also I guess sort of some Metroid style gameplay there. But if you open it up, it does actually come with. Apparently, it's like falling off in here. So on the inside, it does have the game disc over here when you first open it up, but then it also has the dedicated soundtrack CD. And I like having video game soundtracks because I've been sort of burned in the past because I thought, oh, well, if I just use Spotify, then I can listen to all my favorite video game soundtracks. Not the case. Like a lot of the Silent Hill tracks, for example, you can't find natively on Spotify, and you have to go to places like YouTube to find them. But the Critical Mass Edition, in addition to coming with like the soundtrack and the behind the scenes for the game, it also comes with like a full color instruction booklet. Well, is this technically? Yeah, it is. So it's sort of like an instruction booklet and like history on Velocity. I just bought God of War on Vita online like 2 hours ago. Oh, right. I assume you're also sort of getting into it because of the recent release. Is that fair to say, Dan? I got the physical copy, but bought it on a Facebook group. Oh, right on, right on. Yeah, I've not done much like game hunting in Facebook groups, so that might be something I have to look into. Actually, I'm sure there's probably a local like group of like gamers here in the Columbus area that probably do trades and everything. Tarks, thank you so much for joining. Velocity, I believe, is relatively recent. Metal Jesus Rocks just put it in his recent pickups video as well. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so I think the game had been out for a while, just maybe digitally only, and then they just now got to a physical release. Is that maybe what happened, Tarks? But thank you for coming, man. And Friday, I got Shadow of War and Dot Hack on PS4. I've never played Dot Hack, and I'm only anecdotally familiar with it, Dan. I do know Shadow of War, though, which I did start, but I've regrettably not finished yet. I hope people going back to the old God of Wars aren't expecting him to be like the new one. Yeah, they're going to be in for a rude awakening, because after playing just a little bit of, I think I'm like 4 to 6 hours in at this point on the most recent God of War release, I was like, this is definitely not like the combat's still fun and fluid and everything, but it's somebody, and I can't remember who said it, I think it was in a review that I read somewhere, and I thought it was a really good way to describe it. The old God of Wars are sort of like a summer popcorn flick, like an action movie, whereas this God of War sort of brings the series into like Oscar contender territory, which I thought was probably a good way to put it. It's definitely, I think more heavily story based and character driven, not just completely ridiculous and over the top action. I hope, hey, Dark's Gauntlet, hey, Oak City, thanks for dropping by off right now. The Vita lives on in our hearts. I like the Vita a lot. Like, I think it's a great system. I've always had a soft spot for Sony's handhelds. Like, when the PSP first made its debut, I was completely nuts. But I think the two games I got were Luminous and Wipeout. Well, maybe three. I think I also got Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix, I think is the title of it. But I'm just amazed that I could sort of have like a console-ish experience in that form factor. Because to that point, I think the only handheld games that I ever played had really been, basically 2D fare for the most part, right? I'm trying to remember right now if the Nintendo DS came out first or the PSP, and I honestly can't remember. I feel like the PSP might have come out first, but I can't remember. It's been too long. And the last game that I picked up, and I grabbed it from Best Buy because they had, you get that 20% off for new stuff in perpetuity, which is really, really great. And I got it because I played through the first one of these, but I had not played the prequel for it. And the fact that it came with the soundtrack and everything, which I really love the soundtrack for this game, and that was Life is Strange for the PlayStation 4. I already have it on Steam, but the fact that the Before the Storm, I've not played it at all. I don't know what to expect. But I like games like that, which some people call basically, walking. Oh, I guess it's not really a walking simulator, but games that I guess are less game in the truest sense and more just sort of decision based, or some light puzzling action, I guess. But I really like the soundtrack for Life is Strange. And it just, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up now because I want to see what's actually in here because I don't think it has a dedicated jewel case for the CD, but it might because this is a really, really thick box. So, interactive cinema. Yeah, that sounds incredibly apt. My non-video pickups include Technocomp on Genesis, Diddy Kong Racing 64. I want to get Diddy Kong Racing 64 again sometime, and I've spent a lot of time with that Oak City. And I found my Nintendo Club Wii Pro controller. I don't think I've seen the Nintendo Club Wii Pro controller, but now I feel like I totally missed out on that. But I feel like Nintendo Club used to be really great, and you could get a bunch of cool physical stuff from it, and then it sort of not great because I think they discontinued it or rebranded it. Your player 2, was there no way back Wednesday this week? There was not. Unfortunately, I had a sort of touchy customer who had been calling in like 2 or 3 days in a row, and I thought there's a good chance they were going to call in again and sort of interrupt the stream. So every 4 or 5 weeks, there may be a place where I either don't or can't, or there's definitely a huge chance that I'll get interrupted on a call from the day job. So this week, because I knew I had a customer who was fairly freaking out about their system, I decided not to do it and worked on production stuff instead. So no, you did not miss anything this week. I just didn't get a chance to do it, or rather, I chose not to do it, I guess I should say. Luminous was one of the first PSP games you got. Is that Luminous Art? We may be talking about two different series. I'm talking about Luminous the Puzzler. That was like the music-based game. Luminous Arc, I'm not familiar with. I've never played any God of War games. I know about them, but it's never been my thing. But trying to try a new genre this year. Right? Yeah, I mean, like I always had a blast with those games. Like the action is undeniably fun, even if the story is sort of hit or miss at some points. I might have that around here. Yeah, it's an amazing game and it's dirt cheap. Like if you have a PSP and you like puzzle games, like you would be silly not to get a copy of Luminous. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of really good music in it, and I really like the way it sort of dynamically shifts according to the movements that you make with your blocks. Alrighty, buddy, glad I got to stop by. I got to run. Jay, thanks for stopping by, man. Really appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this Life is Strange and see what it looks like in here, because I believe it has. Okay. So we've got the game itself, which I'll open that up too to see how many discs are in here, because I think it actually comes with the first episode of season 1 for Life is Strange, and then the complete season of Before the Storm, which is the one that I haven't played. It comes with the art book for Before the Storm, which is kind of a nice inclusion. And that's the thing, it can't be too horribly expensive for them to produce stuff like this. I just wish more games would do cool stuff like this. And I think this whole collection was like $30, hey, how about that? So it does come with a complete jewel case for the original soundtrack, which is pretty great. And so that's the thing. Like, I really like the soundtrack in the original Before the Storm. I have a feeling that I'm going to like as well. So yeah, it was just, a game that I personally enjoy very much, and, kind of excited to see what the prequel's like, I guess. I found some great things thrifting the other day, but the best thing was in bidding case was a SNES lot boxed. SNES plus Mario Paint and about 30 games. Link to the Past, all Donkey Kong. Is like, geez, man, that's crazy good. Sean says I would have canceled my vacation or on done it. and done it. Oh, you would have canceled. Oh, you mean you would have canceled your vacation to do the Way Back Wednesday stream? Uh, well, I mean, you are a very committed individual, Sean. Usually, but and that's the thing. I actually have more stuff from trade with Sean, but I'm gonna do that on a different pickups video because I think he's gonna be here with me to kind of talk about them. So I'm gonna hold off on those ones. But yeah, these are sort of the big pickups for the week, and I'm pretty pleased with everything that I was able to grab. Oh, actually, wait. Let me go ahead and open this. I said I was going to do that. I got sidetracked. I couldn't bid on it though. Bids were up to $250 by the time I found it. Worth it, but don't have the money. Yeah, that's always a drag. I've seen some. What is it? There was a complete inbox Turtles in Time, and I think it's like 200 right now over at Warp Zone. But that's the thing. Like, I think you sort of pay a little bit more of a premium there. Like, I'm not willing to drop $200 mainly because I blew my budget getting those. I am 8-bit Mega Man carts. I did go ahead and pre-order them. So did Discard. I think Muzz pre-ordered them too, because they look amazing on video. So I was very, excited to get in on that. Although I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about those because they're essentially just very, very expensive repro cards. But I don't know. What did you guys think of the Mega Mans they put out on offer from I am 8-bit? Otherwise, I got Final Fantasy Tactics on PSP, Sid Meier's Pirate. Yes, I did see your tweet about that, man. And I've never played Sid Meier's Pirate, so I would not know what to expect from it. Although I think that Murr played it during Pyro Week leading up to Sea of Thieves. Yeah, because weren't those games like $1.50 each or something ridiculous, Tarks? And Life is Strange comes with a bonus episode, but really nothing else in the... Because, I mean, there's a couple of digital codes here, and then it comes with, like, the disc for, Before the Storm, but that's it. But still, happy to have it. And I'll be curious to fire up the soundtrack and see what that sounds like. PSP games were $1.50. The Xbox was priced as a DVD, so it was $2. Gee, that's still super cheap. Quicksand, how goes it, sir? Thanks for coming by. Pirates is a really fun game. Chris Levi, what's up, dude? I did not even see you coming either. How's your weekend been? Have you picked up anything amazing recently? How goes your search for a PlayStation 2? I hope it goes well. And I'm going to try to get all these together a little bit more. Actually, wait. No, there was another game that I grabbed, and I don't know where it is. Hold on a second. Something's missing here. I'll be right back. Okay. There was one other thing that I got. Speaking of Castlevania, I did actually find a physical copy of Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles, but I'm sort of in a conundrum now. And that is, it's actually sealed. When I bought on eBay, I don't think it explained that it was sealed. I thought it was just, they just said complete. So now I've got a sealed copy of Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles. And that's the thing, I don't have to open this game to play it on the PSP because it's ridiculously hackable, right? But at the same time, I kind of want to. But I don't know if I should just leave it sealed or not. So I'm going to struggle with this for a little bit probably. But still, I'm glad to have another Castlevania in my collection. And that's to say nothing of Symphony of the Night, for sure. I also got Shenmue 1 on the Dreamcast at the same thrift store. The woman at the counter said it was priced as a CD, 50 cents. Oh my God. Yeah, I only have Shenmue now because of Sean, because he didn't want his anymore. So I've reacquired that in my collection thanks to his generosity. Also got Xenosaga 1 and 3 there for $1 each. Sometimes I love that place. That's the thing. I've never played a Xenosaga game, so I can't speak to it. But as I understand it, those are fairly revered titles. Yes, Turks, help me. It's been good. I've seen a few used PS2s around 80 to 100, but then I looked at the new, and damn, they are priced like a new Xbox One X. I was, what? $500 for a PS2? Oh, you mean for a new PS2? It would have been priced at like $500. Yeah, that would be insane. We got Xenosaga in a video. Hey, Chris Levi. Yep. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can run through them one more time here, because I can't stick around forever today because I got to go meet my buddy Kyle to get some food, and then we're going to see Infinity War. But I'll see if I can make these things corral together. I'm going to. Oh, Sean, you have not seen it yet. That's right. I was curious if you're going to get a chance to go see it, either on either side of your cruise or potentially on it, because I have seen some weird stuff on cruises before where they'll show modern movies in the middle of it, like on deck and everything. I'll just mix these together by platform. But yeah, so those are the pickups. PS4 was Kira Blaster, which was from Limited Run Games. Velocity, which I got because it came with the soundtrack and everything, even though the Vita version did not. Life is Strange Before the Storm, because I played the original Life is Strange and was a big fan. Never played Before the Storm and was happy that it came actually with the soundtrack and the art book, so that was very cool. PSP, real quick. Disgaea, Afternoon of Darkness. God of War, Chains of Olympus. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And a sealed Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles, which I'm now struggling with tremendously to figure out if I want to hold on to it or not. Or whether or not I actually want to open it. Then I did also get Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which I never played, but as I understand it was a very good game. But Sean disagrees, so maybe not. We'll see. God of War Ascension, which I believe that may complete the God of War collection for me. I think I may have them all now, but I'll have to go over there and double check. For the Wii, I did get Kirby's Dream Collection, which special collection, which came also with the CD and the sort of like retrospective book, I guess. And then for the original PlayStation, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I've been looking for a while, and I found a pretty decent price because this cost me, I think, even though it says $50, they charged me like $41 to get this, which not too bad at all, really. And finally, a game that is supposed to be objectively terrible, and that is the Hulk Pantheon Saga for the PlayStation 1. So that was this week's pickups. I've been passing out after work, so a little behind on videos, but nothing I can't fix. That's a good attitude, man. Like I'm a little bit behind on my production schedule as well right now, but it's something I'm hoping to rectify tonight. I've got to get on a call with this card. I'm going to try to hook up with Oak City Gamers, talk to him a little bit about some streaming stuff. But beyond that, I've still got videos ready to roll. Tomorrow, Friday, the following Monday, the following Friday, but then it gets a little dicey into late May, early June. Like I've got the ideas laid out and I've got some stuff filmed, but I actually filmed some stuff for Mondays yesterday, about 2 or 3 videos, and I was so unhappy with them that I was just like, I'm going to try to rework this. So since I've got sort of the margin of having some videos scheduled out, that's not, the worst thing in the world. It would be nice if they had all worked perfectly, but I just wasn't happy with them. So I'm going to go back and redo them. Kira Blaster, is that a shoot 'em up where you play as a frog or something? Yeah, it appears to be. It looks like a side-scrolling sort of shoot 'em up. And let's see if there's just like a trailer so I can speak a little bit better to it. Kira Blaster is, let's see, there's a long play here. Yeah, you are a frog, it looks like. And it is a shmup of sorts, but also with some platforming elements, so I don't know. I mean, it's not a shmup the same way you would say, like, I don't know, like Gradius is or something like that, I guess. But yeah, the graphics and the presentation here just look absolutely delightful. So I was like, I'm going to roll the dice on this, even though I've never played it and have very minimal familiarity with it. And it looks fun. L1 Game says, Symphony of the Night is a must-have for PS1. Sir, thank you for coming. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm happy to have it now, Muzz. And it's weird because I was talking about limited run stuff. Like, have you counted how many of these you actually have, Muzz? Don't you have like 160 or something stupid? Like, how many free games could you get right now with your not inconsiderable patronage of the limited run service? There's been this absolute slew of American-made indie games trying to ride on the quirky Japan wave, LOL. Yeah, I do feel like there's definitely been a lot of those, Targs. Aqua Kitty was similar in that regard, although I haven't heard of Aqua Kitty, but now I'm going to look it up out of pure curiosity. So, Aqua Kitty UDX, the first 10 minutes from Contra Network. Aqua Kitty does look really nice, though, at least at first glance, Tarks. Huh. Then there's like a tiny sailor kitty. That's funny. Stuck at work, but glad to catch your pickups. Oh, right on, man. Right on. Maybe I can swing by on the way back from seeing Infinity War for the 4th time later, Muzz. That's what's on my agenda for today, is basically to do this pickups video, get some lunch, And then I'm going to see Infinity War for the fourth time with Kyle and Liz. Kyle's already seen it. Liz has not, so it'll be fun for me to kind of see how she reacts to that movie. I'm not going to spoil anything here, so no worries there, but definitely worth seeing. I think I have around 180 tickets now. Dude, that's just completely insane. Your library of limited run games is completely just sick nasty. Second Breakfast says, hi, thought I'd drop by. Thanks for the editing tips. Looking forward to this month's worth of videos. Right on. Second Breakfast, I think it's the first time I've actually seen you in here. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you did the videos, man. I'm looking forward to working on those videos, most of which are done. I've got a few tweaks I have to make because I shot some stuff I wasn't really happy with yesterday. But other than that, it should be good. Smash JT, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming by. When do you need that intro by? Okay, so let me talk about that for a quick second. First off, thanks to everybody who has already provided footage for the channel trailer. Again, if you're sort of new here, basically for a channel trailer, what I wanted to do to try to, I guess, make the pitch for this channel a little bit more convincing was, instead of me trying to tell people like, hey, this is a great channel and you should hang out and, we do cool stuff here, was to see if I could basically put together a bunch of footage of other people talking, people who are already subscribers, because it would stand to reason that, if they're willing to stay subscribed to this channel, then there must be some reason for that. So I figured you guys could basically just talk to it, and I would basically cut all that stuff together and then basically provide links to everybody else's channels who contributes to that effort. And basically see what I could come up with, see if I could actually cobble it together into something that tells a decent story about why this channel is valuable. But to smash this question, no rush on that whatsoever. Like, as long as I have it by the end of May, I'm looking to edit that project probably at the beginning of June. That's sort of like my big thing for May, really, is to get a channel trailer together that actually makes sense. So yeah, Jeff, dude, like, just anytime by the end of May, I appreciate it. And if you're like, it's not for me, all good too, whatever works. But yeah, no huge rush on it. Just, whenever you get a chance. I think I've gotten 3 or 4 clips so far. I know Kira as the way the Japanese emulate the sound a frog makes. Instead of ribbit, they say Kira. Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting little bit of trivia. So if I stream that game, I'll certainly point that out, Darks. L1, Hi Oak City, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. L1, love your channel. Yes, L1 is super great, and that is my good friend Muzz, who we've made tons of videos together in the past and everything. And I get to leech off of his insane collection of video games, as he's very generous about that. And he's actually really awesome at restoring stuff as well. I saw that Power Glove you put out on Twitter the other day, Muzz. I can't remember if I retweeted it or not. I try to retweet whenever you do those restorations because they look just absolutely gorgeous. But that looked, it's so bad. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Not much, doing well. Second Breakfast, love the name. Yeah, that is a great name for sure. Do you want music on my video track, or are you going to add music steady throughout? You probably want to leave music out of it, because I'll probably try to find some sort of an upbeat track to sort of cut to, because I like to cut to the beat of the music frequently. So I wouldn't worry about adding music to it. Or if you want to do 2 cuts and you're like, this makes sense because of, like, I'm telling like a mini story here, then it kind of has to be self-contained. I'll try to work with it. But generally, having one without music will probably be best for me to edit it together, because I'm getting stuff from all kinds of different people, and some of the stuff I've already gotten is, some of it has music, some of it doesn't, but I'll figure out how to make it work. So I wouldn't sweat the details too much. I'm glad you're willing to contribute to the effort, man. Appreciate it. Not another game collector. What's up, dude? Thanks for coming by. Are you still in Houston, or are you back home now? I love the Power Glove. It's so bad, right? You're always welcome to loot my collection for your own gaming purposes, LO. Yes, and you're the only reason that I have 6-button Genesis controllers. I've been playing. That's the thing. It's not like these aren't great, right? Like the 8-bit demo, like wireless ones are super great, and this is really comfortable and a solid controller. But it's because of the layout of the buttons, and sometimes for like certain Sega Genesis games for 6-button, it just didn't work. Like, it would put the jump button way at the top on the X button, for example, which really wasn't great for games like Gunstar Heroes, for example. Okay, you're a player too. Sounds good. Right on, man. I appreciate it for sure. I actually really liked The Wizard in an unironic way. I liked it too. It was okay. I remember, I'm sure I could look at it and fundamentally say, this is a bad film, but I like all kinds of bad films, man. Like, again, Affleck Daredevil director's cut. I go back to that over and over again. I can't help myself. Even though I've got a demonstrably better Daredevil I could be watching on Netflix now. I'll be home on Monday. Right on, man. So I assume you've had some more good meals out there and it's been a good time relaxing? Nintendo and Mattel should team up for a 2018-2019 version of the Power Glove that works similar to a Wiimote. It's overdue. I would be okay with it. Like, I don't know how much I would actually use it, but I still think it would be, a fun novelty to have in my collection for sure, man. I love the Wizard. Fun fact, you won't believe I watched the Wizard yesterday during my son's Super Mario Brothers birthday party. Dude, that's awesome. So was everybody suitably entertained by it, or was it just you watching? Were you just like, I'm just gonna peace out away from this birthday party for a little bit and watch the Wizard? Yeah, but the Netflix Daredevil isn't loaded with Evanescence songs. I know, right? Like I don't know how to get through the day without, Evanescence, because that was a really intense scene with Jennifer Garner. That'd be odd considering the Mattel NES. I didn't know there was a Mattel NES. That's crazy. The kids all left me to swim in the pool. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I'm curious. What? Because there was the Wizard, and I want to say there was another video game movie from around the. Oh, I maybe just be thinking of Super Mario Brothers. That was a horrible turning point for me in terms of like, my ability to be objectively critical about things. Because I remember being so excited to go see the Mario Brothers, and I guess I guess what would have been 7 or 8 year old Josh was very excited because I assumed we were going to get all the kind of stuff you would expect from the Mario experience, right? You would get like Goombas and Bowser and stuff like that, and you kind of did, except it was really quite bizarre. And I remember walking out of that movie for the first time, because normally, like when you're a kid, like you go into every movie and every movie is just the greatest movie ever, right? You haven't really developed any sort of discerning taste. So when I saw Three Ninjas, best movie ever. When I saw Five Goes West, best movie ever. But then I remember walking out of Mario Brothers very vividly, and my dad being like, "So, what do you think of Mario Brothers?" And I was just like, "It wasn't very good," and just innocence shattered, I guess. I also ironically liked Evanescence, especially the Fallen album. See, I only knew a few of their songs, so I can't say like I'm an Evanescence fan, but some of their stuff I can't help it. I absolutely did like. And there are things that I also unironically like Ace of Base. A lot of people slam Ace of Base. I think they're amazing. Or at least I did in 1995-ish, I guess. I love the original Super Mario. Now, did you love it ironically or unironically, Jeff? I remember walking out of the theater saying, yes, they're playing a sequel. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm not going to say Hoskins and Leguizamo were totally terrible. It was just not the take on Mario I was expecting, I guess. I got the Famicom version, 8-bit dough. I use it for my Switch. Yeah, and that's the thing. I actually did grab the Oculus Go the other day, and I was able to successfully pair this with that, albeit I had to do a firmware update first, and that's because there was a game that I was trying in it, and I'm trying to remember which one it was now. That's going to bug me. But there was some game where it basically required a gamepad, and I was like, can I actually use these with it as well? Because it's not on the list of officially supported platforms, and I guess it wouldn't be because the Go just came out like 5 days ago, I think. But after I updated the firmware, yeah, I was able to use it, so that was a neat, nice little unexpected surprise. Oh yeah, been a great time. Can't wait. Can't wait to back to making some vids. Right on, man. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I'm one of those people. Like, and I'm actually going to take some vacation time near the end of this month, sort of a staycation where I'm going to do boring stuff like clean out my garage and work on. Well, working on YouTube stuff's not boring, but I'm going to take a few days off. I'm one of those people. Like as soon as I get some downtime, it's either like I feel super guilty because I'm not working on something, or then I'll start working on something and then I'll kind of psych myself out and be like, why don't you relax more? Just chill out, play a game for fun. So that is my eternal struggle. Mario Brothers movie, the director, before he heard it, he just smiled and sat silently when it was over. He said, I'm sure people will be able to separate this from the game. I'm not worried about our reputation. That's awfully telling, Tarks. Jeez, man, that had to be so awkward to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. I love the 8-bit dough. I have the NES one. Yeah, I mean, they just make a solid product so far. I mean, I've got this one and I've got the SF30 Pro also. Although I haven't really had a chance to really use that very much. I haven't paired it with a Switch or anything like that. I think I was going to use it as like possibly a Steam controller. I think I used it a little bit maybe to try Hotline Miami 2. Can't remember. Anyone who doesn't like Ace of Base is just flat out wrong, right? I don't know why. For some reason, when I was like in middle school, everybody loved Ace of Base, and I just never kind of quit loving them. He knew it was trash. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that impression, Targs. Let's see. Agree, Smash JT. I heard the filming of it on set was like, yeah. You know what's weird? Actually, now that you mentioned that, Jeff, there was somebody, I found an article because I was curious about the filming of the Mortal Kombat movie, and apparently at one point Tom Cruise was around the area where they were filming it in that part of the world, and apparently he tried to wander on set and security was like, you can't come on here and look at the Mortal Kombat, this is a private set. And he was like, "But I'm Tom Cruise." I'm like, "We don't care if you're Tom Cruise. You leave." So Tom Cruise apparently tried to go check out the Mortal Kombat filming, and they just turned him away cold. Like, we don't care who you are, Tom Cruise. JT, endless script changes and drunk actors rip Bob Hoskins and also rip Bob. Oh, yeah, that's sort of depressing thinking about Hoskins now. Hey, hope you got some good stuff. I did get some good stuff. I'll run back through it real quick. For the PlayStation, I got something super not good, and that was The Incredible Hulk, the Pantheon Saga, which, as I understand, is hot garbage. But I couldn't help myself at $3 for a Marvel game. But then, to make up for it, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Black Label for like $40, which I was really happy to have. Been wanting this for a long time, especially after hearing Gamer Thumb TV speak so fondly of it. And I'd only played it a little bit, and I think it was the Xbox Live version. And while we're on that, I'll go ahead and dive into the PSP stuff I picked up. Dracula X Chronicles, which for PSP, apparently you can unlock, I think in stage 3, the Symphony of the Night to play on here. Although I've heard some people saying, I think it was Sean, that they changed some of the vocals or something, or some of the voice acting for it. So it's not necessarily the most favored version of that game if you unlock it through Dracula X Chronicles. But since it is the gameplay apparently is intact, I felt like having a portable version of that would be pretty great. Also for PSP, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, God of War, Chains of Olympus, and Disgaea Afternoon of Darkness, which I only picked up because I thought I hated this game, and then after basically playing the ISO of it a little bit, I was like, you know what, I passed judgment too quickly. I actually want to give this a shot, so I decided to go ahead and order a physical. PS4, Kira Blaster from Limited Run Games, Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition, which I was just pumped because the game with the soundtrack and the behind-the-scenes documentary. And anytime a game has a behind-the-scenes stuff, like Axiom Verge did, for example, which was, I think, from Two Player Productions, the same cast that did a lot of the filming on the Penny Arcade TV on that series, and I love their work. I'm always more inclined to buy that. And then Life is Strange Before the Storm, basically the collector's edition that also came with the first episode of the original Life is Strange, an art book, the soundtrack, which I was pretty pleased with. And then for Wii, I did find Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition, which came with the soundtrack. And then finally, last two things were God of War Ascension and Castlevania Lords of Shadow for the 360. So that's this week's pickups, miss. I know, right? Like, I can't believe, like, if Tom Cruise showed up, I would be like, yeah, man, let's hang out. I don't, care about your kooky Scientology beliefs. But I'm just sort of amazed that, for something that, I'm assuming was a fairly low budget movie for Mortal Kombat, I figured they would have liked to have somebody like Tom Cruise hanging around, but they were just like, nope, sorry, Tom, you can't hang out with us. Oh, hell yeah, Symphony of the Night, yes. Yeah, man, like, and that's the thing, it's like, I had, the most experience I had with Castlevanias would have been Castlevania 1 and 2 on the NES, which I don't think I ever got around to playing 3, if I'm being honest. Castlevania 4 on the SNES, which I actually played with basically my friend Molly, who lived a couple doors down from me growing up. She had it for the Super, I did not have it. More recently, I played Bloodlines with Sean, which we got so close to the end, but it got late and we got tired and we didn't actually finish it, but I'm hoping we do finish it at some point. But then for me personally, just spending a lot of one-on-one time with them, like the DS and Game Boy Advance titles, I spent so much time with them, had a blast playing those games. So I don't know, and I probably missed Symphony of the Night the first go around simply because I didn't get a PlayStation till late in that console's life cycle. I was a 64 guy, very much like a Nintendo fanboy until finally PlayStation sort of dragged me over because I couldn't stand the idea of missing out on games like Silent Hill, like Siphon Filter a lot, and I think Tenchu also was. Well, I mean, and Metal Gear. I mean, if you're talking stealth action, it's one thing to say Tenchu, but Metal Gear is sort of like the granddaddy of them all, I guess. Yeah, great pickups. Yeah, it was not a bad week for it. Like, and I've got some more trade stuff that I can show with Sean whenever I get him back on stream with me here. But yeah, it's been pretty good. The PSP version was too hard for me not to be able to get far enough to unlock Symphony of the Night. LOL. I have the PSP version as well. It's really fun and hard. Yeah, I did start playing it, and it's pretty brutal. Or you talk about Symphony of the Night or Dracula X Chronicles there? Hold on. Too hard for me to get far enough to unlock Symphony of the Night. I have the PSP version. What? Yes. Okay. So you were talking about the original game. Yeah, it's definitely tough, man. I think I'm only like 2 or 3 levels into it, but yeah, I do love me some Castlevania. A friend gave me a PSP God of War for retail store demo game. That's kind of awesome. I imagine there's not a lot of those floating around, Quicksand. Castlevania 3 is one of my all-time favorite Castlevania games. You have to play C3. Yeah, I will. If I can find one, I don't think I have it. I have Castlevania 1 with label damage, sadly. Castlevania 2, I have not managed to reacquire yet. But yeah, I mean, as I'm out looking around, Jeff, I'll see if I can track down a copy of 3 as well, because I'm certainly not going to mind having another Castlevania game in my collection. Oh, actually, I did. It was weird. A couple streams ago, I was talking about Castlevania, and I could not find this, but then it magically showed up. I was really happy to get this from GameStop when it came out, and I can't remember which of the DS games it came with, but this was sort of like their pre-order bonus that came with like a stylus. Okay, I guess this was for Portrait of Ruin. For some reason, I have a Portrait of Ruin instruction booklet in here. I don't know why I would have left it there. But I think it came with basically a case to hold games, and it came with like a Castlevania stylus. And then also it came with an art book. It came with a soundtrack CD also, which I'm really glad that I managed to hold on to this. Although I don't know that I would have traded it in for any reason. I don't know that there was really a big reason to do so. But this sort of gives like a retrospective on, you know, like all the old Castlevania games. And I'm really happy that I held on to this. And then actually, I'm trying to remember what this is. It's been so long since I've actually opened this up. I don't remember. I think it's a Castlevania Timeline fold-out poster. So, and then on the other side, I think it sort of gives a history of the story up to this point. So, yeah, that's a really amazing pre-order. I can't believe they did this. I haven't tried to look this up on eBay or anything. I'm curious if this is actually worth anything or if anybody still has these. But apparently I kept it in pretty good shape, so that's cool. All right, I'm gonna go. Peace out. Got some games I work on. Almost done the series I've been working on in the background. Thanks. Oh, right on, Tarks. Dude, thanks so much for swinging by. I hope you have enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a good week, dude. I will see you on the Twitters and hopefully I'll get my own channel stuff figured out here in the next day or so. We'll see. Castlevania definitely needs a comeback, right? It's just depressing. And Super Nick, thanks for coming by, man. Ooh. All my talk about the PSP Go got another guy to buy one. Yes, and that's the thing. That's the dude who really put me over was Not Another Game Collector, which Not Another Game Collector, you can speak to the chat, and say for sure, but you are going to be doing more PSP videos, right? I thought we talked about that, or I can't remember, exactly what you said, because I'll probably do 1 or 2, but, I think you have more experience with that platform than I do, so I'm not going to do a ton of them, but I am really happy with the PSP Go. Like, it's such a cool system, and with the 16 gigs built in, it's really nice. Maybe the Netflix series helps give some motivation for it, but Konami probably isn't motivated to make more. Yeah, I'm guessing they're not. It doesn't seem like they're motivated for much lately, sadly. Second breakfast. I'm trying to see if I just... Very cool. Love when I find Cool Hands promotionals. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I actually got that Oak City. I mean, it was just one of those things. Like, I didn't. Whenever I pre-ordered, I guess, Portrait of Ruin to get that, I didn't realize how awesome it was going to be. Maybe the Netflix series. Yes, I am. Hey, Josh. Hey, Oak City. That Game Collector. What's up, man? How are you? Just catching up on some of your stuff a little bit earlier this week, and it looks like Rocker Gaming took good care of you, sir. As he always does. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for today. I'll hang out for a few more minutes before I have to, sort of get ready to go eat and go see Infinity War again. But what are you guys all doing today? You guys working on your channel? You just, chilling out, having some fun, playing some games just for the sheer enjoyment of it? Like, what are you going to do with the rest of your Sunday, I guess? Anyone else find it funny that both That Game Collector and Not Another Game Collector are here with their channel names? It's pretty awesome seeing them. I will admit, very briefly, I did get them confused, Jeff. But like after I got to know both of them individually, I don't have that problem anymore. But yeah, it was definitely confusing for me at first. Well, nice pickups. Thanks for the stream. I'll see you later. Roaming Dan, thanks for coming by, man. You have an awesome Sunday. Finishing up my 2 episodes right on Super Nick. As soon as I get done with the movie tonight, I'm going to come right back here and get to work on some stuff. And then I've basically just got to make sure that this schedule is ready to go for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Batch filming at least 3 vids. Right on, man. Yeah, like I'm a huge fan of batching. It's easier to chunk processes together, I think. Oh, I should probably mute that before you guys get some awful feedback. I'm making another vid why the PSP Go is great handheld and tutorial vid on the PSP Go. Right on, man. I will be looking out for those. I have a video on the PSP Go I will be doing as well, but it's more of like I guess just like my personal thoughts on the unit and why I think it's so rad. I got work from 12 to 9, then I'm going to work on a video after that and maybe stream with a friend for an hour or two. Right on, Chris. What are you going to be playing, man? Working on my arcade software issues. Oh, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love having this machine back here, and it's super great. But, I mean, MAME, can have so many issues, and there's a lot of tweaks that you have to make to and everything for things like controller compatibility and, just making sure that you have, solid dumps of ROMs that are going to work okay. And, yeah, I know that can be kind of annoying. Josh, run through the fines again. New folks here might spark conversation. I will run through it one more time, but the conversation will probably not go too much longer, so I'm going to have to get off here and go get food. But I did pick up Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation, The Incredible Hulk, the Pantheon Saga, which is hot garbage as I understand it, but because I like Marvel games, had to do it. PS4-wise, I got Life is Strange Before the Storm, which came with like the collector's, like the art book and stuff. Velocity Critical Mass Edition also came with the soundtrack. From Limited Run, I got Kira Blaster, which looks sort of fun, cutesy shmup / platformer that I wanted to spend some time with. I got the Kirby's Dream Collection, which is great. And for PSP, I got the Sky Army of Darkness, God of War Chains of Olympus, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and a sealed Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles, although it is sort of like a player's choice, which kind of bugs me, if I'm being honest. But still, I'm happy to have them physical. And then finally, Castlevania Lords of Shadow and God of War Ascension, which I think completed my God of War collection of games. So those were the pickups. Show the fine star for the viewers. I'll totally joke it. Dude, I am, man. I'm so excited to go get some Indian food. I can't even tell you, man. It's like I only eat food if it helps me level up. All right, second breakfast. I could see that. I got to run. Have a good one, everyone. Dude, thanks so much for coming out. Jeff, you have a wonderful day, man. Appreciate you stopping by, and thanks for being willing to contribute to the trailer efforts, man. That's awesome. I only eat mutton I find in walls I whipped open. I see what you did there. At first I thought that was going to take a very terrifying sort of Poe turn, but then you brought it right back to Castlevania. Yes, Kirby, great taste, Josh. I don't know that I have great taste. I'm just like, that thing looks pretty, and I like soundtracks. Because I did not grow up playing a ton of Kirby games, but playing Kirby Star Allies with my mom on that one stream, that was a lot of fun. Speaking of which, she's coming up next weekend for Mother's Day, so my pickup stream may have difficulty there as well, because I got to spend time with my mom. Although knowing her, she'll probably want to she may actually want to play some games and jump on stream as well. But whatever she wants, that's her day. So. Damn good pickups, Josh. Yeah, man, I really lucked out with that Symphony of the Night. I feel like that was a really good price for it. And I actually ran it through a chat with Gamers on TV and not another game collector to get their thoughts on it. And I think they thought it was a good deal as well. I need Marvel Ultimate Alliance. For what platform, not another game collector? I'm out. Gotta head to the grocery store later, everyone. That game collector, dude, thanks so much for stopping by. Have a good one, and I will catch up on the remaining 2 or 3 of your videos that I tried to get through on my lunch break the other day soon. But you have a good one, man. Take care. Yo, Josh, when I get home today or tomorrow, if I still have my shout out video for you, I'll send it to you for the trailer. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just hit me up on Twitter, and you can either email it to me or also Hidden Game Room, I think it also sent me something, but he sent it to me from an account on Facebook, which I have a Facebook page for Your Player too, but I'm literally doing nothing with it right now because I'm not sure if it makes sense for me to use a Facebook page, but at some point maybe I will. But he actually found me through that and sent me some footage as well. So if anybody else wants to be part of that channel trailer effort, please feel free to let me know. I'm gonna accept video for that all the way through to the end of May. So if you want to be on the trailer and basically just have me link your channel, it's probably going to be something I'll do annually. I'll probably update the trailer once a year, but essentially I'm just going to take a bunch of footage from you guys saying, hey, here's what Your Player 2 is, and then whatever you think it is, and then I'm going to put it together into basically a promotional video that will be the channel trailer. So instead of me just being like, hey, I'm great, come look at my stuff, I'll just be like, hey, here are some of the people who already think it's great, is listen to what they have to say and then make an honest judgment, I guess. Is the Oculus Go worth to buy? Yes and no. If you're looking for a hardcore virtual reality gaming experience, it is not worth it. And I say that simply because having the Oculus Rift myself, games like Windlands, are incredibly immersive and give great, sensations of motion and everything. And it's not that it can't provide those experiences, but if you really want room scale VR, you're going to have basically the beefy gaming rig and, like tracking sensors and stuff like that. So I would not say it's a good buy if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for casual pick up and play experiences, or you want to connect with other people, or watch movies and stuff like that, the Go is phenomenal, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far. And it's weird because like my dad got my mom one of them for Mother's Day because he couldn't figure out like a Mother's Day gift. I think. God, I hope they're both not watching this stuff. It'd be terrible. But like me and mom were like playing we were playing like mini golf in it the other day, and that was super fun. So the Go is great for experiences, and the fact that you're untethered makes it an incredible value proposition for $200 that you don't have to use a phone with it. That's the other thing I really like about it. So Oculus Go, excellent for quick pick up and play experiences, not so great for hardcore gaming room scale VR experiences, perhaps in the vein of like Rick and Morty virtual reality. So it's just two different things. If you just want to casually play around with VR here and there, connect with other people, or watch pirated movies apparently in some of the VR apps that they have, because people have giant movie theaters, and then like 20 people were watching Infinity War the other day on it, so that was funny. It's great for that, but hardcore gaming experience, stick with the Oculus. The Rift, I mean. PSP, right on. Not another game collector. I will keep an eye out for that then. Packages coming soon, dude. Oh, awesome, dude. Yeah, I know you had mentioned something just a little while back about that, but yeah, dude, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in there. I may have something else for you too soon. That game collector. On a plane or something. Yeah, I could definitely see that, Super Nick. L1 Games, I want to contribute to the trailer, but I'm lazy. Next time you're at the store, shoot some footage, and I'll say genuine nice things. If you want to say genuine mean things, that's cool too, man. I'll try to spin it into something comedic, or I'll just cry on screen, and we'll make it work. Now, Muzz, you're coming over Wednesday to stream, right? Because we were going to play. You have like a mystery game, I think, which I have a sneaking suspicion I know what it is. But your plan was to come over Wednesday, and I think I said I was going to come over on Tuesday. I may not be able to come to the store Tuesday. I may have to wait until Thursday to come to the store. Or no, you said any day but Thursday. I should probably coordinate with you offline instead of live on the internet. But long story short, sort of a busy week, but I'm going to try to make it to the store. But Wednesday we're definitely still on. Like I've got that squared away for sure. Very last clip of the trailer. F that guy. Yeah, and it's funny. I got a great clip from Tyler and Stevenson that's going to be hard for me to play off of. But yeah, if somebody wants to end that way, that's fine. Something. I didn't have Wednesday on my calendar. I just added. Oh, okay. I mean, if Wednesday doesn't work for you, let me know, man. We can do it the following Wednesday, because I'm sure Sean would love to jump on the stream for another Way Back Wednesday. And I still have to get Nick from Back Pocket Game Reviews. I have not followed up with him to reschedule yet. Cat probably hates me, but because we really want to play Power Rangers. Keep up the awesome work. I'll make a short vid about what I think of your channel. Hit me up on Twitter. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I pretty much see you on Twitter all the time. We're in a chat together, so. I have to be in Cincy for the day. I'm meeting at Sharonville, but I'll be back well early. Dude, that let me know for sure, because that sounds like a really full packed day for you. So I don't really want you to be, I want you at your best, Muzz. Okay, if you're gonna hang out on stream, I want you to look very refreshed, very relaxed, and that sounds like a lot. So if you decide you're like, let's push it a week or two, that's fine too, man. Just let me know. I've got some other people that I need to get on stream also. No, I'm glad to stream. Okay, yeah, and that's the thing. I've still got like a bag full of Sonic games from you of questionable origin, which I think would also be fun to dive into at some point. It's a day away from work and a road trip with James. It'll be a restful day. Yeah, we have to figure out some of that road trip stuff, man. If we're going to hang out with Rocker Gaming and try to swing by and see Super Nick and Crows and everybody on that, like, I guess it would be like a Midwest sort of YouTube road trip. We need to figure that out. We should get together and talk about that sometime soon. Oh, actually, before you leave, Muzz, I have to cancel on Saturday because I forgot it was Mother's Day and my mom's coming up. So if we can get together the following Saturday, that would be awesome. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to hang out with me to basically look at the new pickups and everything. I feel like I got some pretty good stuff here, and it's cool kind of hearing about some of your own experiences, learning some new things from you. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here so I can go get some food and then go see the movie for the fourth time. Not that I need to see it a fourth time, but obviously I'm a big fan. So, you guys have a wonderful day. Feel free if you want to talk some more about games. And have a wonderful day. Thank you guys all so much for coming. I appreciate it. Bye.